Hello, everyone. Welcome to Zen Republic, to the 5th Pioneers XR Creators event here in Zen Republic headquarters. For now, I don't see anybody here with me live, but I hope somebody is watching on a Twitch, watching the live stream on Twitch. And so this week, the meetup is a little bit different because I don't have a guest with me. I'm going to do a presentation on my own. And I'm going to talk about the metaverse, just kind of give the whole introduction to the whole metaverse and explain to you how the metaverse is going to shape, together with blockchain, with cryptocurrencies, how it's going to shape the whole internet. How, the future is going to change the internet. It's going to be the internet 2.0. And I'm just going to I'll just try to kind of give you the vibe, trying to give you the vision of what the metaverse is going to look like. For now, people are doing little stems. They're trying to kind of get like little pieces of the metaverse, creating their own virtual worlds. And I'm just going to tell you the grand vision of how it's going to turn into a metaverse. So without any further ado, I guess I'll start. I'm Thomukas1, by the way. And you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram, and also join, of course, the Zen Republic headquarters for the next events. And we'll be here live, so you can ask questions, and we can have like kind of a discussion going on. So first of all, what I'd like to say is that during the quarantine, we experienced a virtual boom. Most of the sectors, like retail, food industries, most of the sectors were kind of damaged because they were forced to close because they couldn't have any customers come live. But for the virtual reality, it gave a huge boost because people were forced to live to be in their homes, not going out, and so it was kind of a factor of getting to do your job virtually when you're not able to do so physically. So a lot of people who lost their jobs, for example, event organizers couldn't host any events, right? And many other like actors, which I'm going to cover a little bit later. They were forced to think outside the box, think a little bit more futuristic, and to kind of have their work make sense inside virtual environments. And I'm just gonna try to be as brief as possible. I'm just gonna kind of run you through what's happening currently right now in virtual reality, and how people are actually being able to kind of be there and socialize, not necessarily game, because virtual reality kind of transcends the gaming genre, because this can be classified as a game, right? We're here, we're kind of doing the interactions, we have some sort of things going on. It's kind of a gaming environment, but at the base level, this is kind of a social app. It's not really a game, but a place to socialize. And that kind of brings me to the social VR. This all those like different platforms are now kind of shaping how we socialize in virtual space, kind of an advanced way compared to like the social media texting and calling. So first of all, what's happening is, of course, events and conferences are being held in virtual reality. So event organizers, like networkers, people who are speakers, who are like running businesses and they need kind of to get connections, they're now able to go into virtual reality. Like this is the example of Altspace VR, and it's kind of a platform for people to kind of talk. The event organizers can like host their own rooms and invite people in. So for example, I can log into Altspace VR. I'm going to show you one more picture. People can come into Altspace VR and they see, okay, currently what's happening is some sort of event. For example, this resilience roundtable. This can be an event that is happening now, and you can just jump in right away. So somebody can host it. Maybe they can get some sponsors, and so they can have some maybe some items, some things in the environment. But at the base level, they can just get people in who talk, who share their body language, just like this is an example of that event. And so people are actually being able to maintain their work and even get the connections which otherwise wouldn't be possible in real life situations, because here you can have all the people from all around the world. You're not constrained to, for example, if you go to some sort of conference in Europe, you're not going to expect too many Asian people or Americans, because like it's a costly journey. And here it just doesn't matter where you're from. You can just go into a virtual hall, and that's all. So people really found a way to kind of get into that. Also, performances in theater, as I mentioned before, are really starting to pop off. Actors who are forced to kind of stay at home, no no theaters are being held. They try to find ways to kind of monetize their work, be actors in virtual reality too. So, for example, this is Pandora X. I'm gonna quickly show a little trailer. I'm not gonna play it fully, but just so you would understand, get the visual kind of cue.
So what do you say? Are you ready to do something? Now remember, Zeus is a little temperamental. We have to approach with caution. The chorus and I have come to deliver you a message.
Right. So basically, some group of actors, of designers, they organize themselves in VR Chat, a platform VR Chat, where it's largely based on user-generated content. And some designers created their own 3D worlds, imported into the platform. They met up inside there, had their own characters. This performance is about ancient Greek gods. So they would have their own avatars of a Greek god, and they also rehearse inside VR. They have rehearsals, they talk, they have some system to kind of communicate with each other so that other people would not hear all the attendees. And what attendees can do, they can go to like Eventbrite or whatever system to buy tickets. They buy ticket and they get some sort of a code to access the virtual theater. So you would buy a ticket, get a code, go into VR Chat, and to enter the room, you would need to enter this code, and then you would get an access. You can go in and be a part of the performance. You actually experience it. You're part of you're interacting inside it. For example, some actor can say, "Hey, people, let's go. Let's find out what's there to see," right? And people would just kind of interactively go, move around, and enjoy, be part of the story themselves. So it's kind of a nice thing. And also, yeah. So this is one more picture from it. And also concerts and parties are kind of getting popular inside it, inside virtual reality. I'm not really too big on those. I don't really like spending time in concerts, parties, because I just prefer the real life versions. But some people just kind of get themselves a pint of beer. They go into this kind of a party zone, chillax, form a group. They all just drink alone, but in a kind of a kind of cooperational, kind of a social environment, and they just drink, talk, and kind of hang out. So it's also a thing you can do in VR, and some DJs, you can, I don't know, just play some music and riot out the crowd, and just can actually have some people in to enjoy. It can be a paid concert in the same way. So I think it's still, this one is from VR Chat too. Also, a few more things from VR Chat. I'll just quickly go through them. So people are also...
But they have to agree to it. You can't just force them into doing it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. So, for example, this is a game too, where it's just a random environment, right? A random environment, which is a game, a talking game, and people just come in and have their own kind of user-generated experiences. Those worlds are user-generated. So this place feels like a kind of a metaverse where you go in and you experience what other people have built. But it's still lacking one really important feature, which is cryptocurrency, blockchain implementation, which is what I'm going to talk about now. So I'm sure most of you have heard of cryptocurrencies and NFTs. NFTs have been quite a huge boom, but I'll just quickly go through what NFTs are. Just give you a little 101 of NFTs, so you would kind of be on par, because NFTs is going to be a really big factor of what the metaverse is. So. And I just want to say that you'll eventually understand the metaverse is basically VR plus blockchain. So if you get all the hype about virtual reality, if you understand NFTs, you'll then be on the same wavelength and be able to kind of go on with me. So let's say. What I wanted to say about NFTs is that how digital kind of computers enhance the music together with technologies turn into electronic music, which is hugely popular right now, right? Technos, hip hops, whatever. The NFT is what brings the new generation of art. It's like art 2.0. It really makes sense for the artworks, and I'm just gonna NFTs are not constrained to being artworks, but it's just one of the examples that really makes sense, and people have started trading these NFTs of artworks because they get it. This is like the simplest example of how NFTs can be used. So for example, you say let's say I made this artwork, right, and I want to sell it. I don't want to sell it as a physical copy. I want to make this artwork and say, I want to sell this artwork, exactly this artwork. And the problem is, how do I sell it without it being ripped? Somebody can just click Save Image As and just have it, right? And just rip it off. So the solution for it is to not sell the artwork itself, but to sell a piece of code. I'm not going to get too much into detail. You don't really need to know what kind of piece of code it is. It's all abstracted away. Those things are being done in the marketplace. So for example, I would go to some sort of a marketplace. For example, I'll just drop some examples like Rarible, OpenSea. These are the most popular ones. And I could go to a marketplace and just kind of create an NFT. That means I can write a description of the thing, attach an image, a reference image, because the code holds the image. I'm not selling the image. I'm selling the code that has all the information inside it: description, minting date, the image, whatever else. And so, so when I mint it, it also costs money to mint. It also costs a little bit of cryptocurrency. Of course, you need to have a crypto wallet and cryptocurrency to mint, because this is all a crypto world. This is not regular money. So it costs a little bit to mint, because when you to make sure that this is your one unique piece of code that you kind of mint and sell as a unique item, you need to tell the whole blockchain, every user in the blockchain, that, hey, I've just created this piece of code, and you need to understand, you need to acknowledge that it actually exists. So all these informations, all those transactions, when you need to inform the whole blockchain, it costs money. So you have to pay a little bit money to mint, and then your unique item exists in the blockchain. You can in the marketplace. And so, for example, if I want to, let's say I want to buy one of these artworks. Of course, I can just click on the artwork and save image as, but I do not own it. I just get a little copy, a little print, which doesn't mean anything. What matters is who has the NFT inside his own crypto wallet. And you'll understand the use case a little bit later, but for now, just imagine like the MetaMask is like Revolut or whatever kind of card is banking system. So MetaMask is the most popular wallet, but there's lots of different wallets to choose from. Just MetaMask is like the most popular one. And so imagine that your wallet holds both money and inventory items. So one great example is actually in-game inventory systems. So you can see, for example, imagine as if your crypto wallet is an in-game marketplace, is an in-game inventory. So let's say this is the money, right? I have this much money of the cryptocurrency, and when I bought this NFT, it exists in the inventory as one of the inventory spaces. I own it as an inventory item. It's not visible in the MetaMask, but if you log in with your MetaMask account in the marketplace, you'll see that you own it, and you're the only one who owns it. And NFTs are not constrained to just artworks. They're actually one of the use cases. This is one of the most popular. I can even say the most popular use case of making NFTs is still attached a little bit to the realm of artworks, but instead of just selling one artwork, some guy or some team they generated 10,000 characters by some random variables. So some can be let me get my laser for one moment. Some can be people, right? So they can be like black people, white people. There can be zombies, right? There can be even monkeys, which are rare because they're in the code. It says like these are the rare types. And aliens, these guys are aliens, and there's only 9 of them out of 10,000. So the creators just kind of got all the types of all the attributes. So let me just give you one little example. This is a CryptoPunk, one of the CryptoPunks, and you can say he's one of 6,000 male punks. So it was just randomly generated. It could have been any number, but it was 6,000. And he has a goatee, right? A top hat, regular shades, and mole. And people can decide if this is rare. And for example, this exact CryptoPunk, you can check the history. One of the cool things about NFTs is that you can always track the history. You can always know who created it or what wallet it went through, and you can just see the whole history. So if you can see, like, the currently it was sold for $83,000. So these are just crazy expensive, but they're like the OG, like the first one who made the first NFT kind of who made all the generated collection of NFTs. So you own just one, but you own part of the collection, and you're the only one who owns it. But I think you still might ask, what's the use for? Why do I need to own NFT? Why can't I just rip off the image and have the image? So the image doesn't have any power. You just own the image, and that's all. You can delete it. You can have in some folder, and that's all. But for NFTs, as I told you, imagine, as I said previously, that your NFTs are existing in your inventory, right? And so if you log into some sort of place that allows for people to log in with their crypto wallets, you can then have some sort of a use case out of that NFT. So for a very simple example, I'm just gonna go right into blockchain-based virtual world. So this is combining both NFTs and VR into one kind of thing. So the closest example to home would be the NFT gallery here in Zen Republic HQ. So if you would come here live, you will be able to kind of walk around this place and see for yourself that we have an NFT gallery. It's just basically for now just our own NFTs, which are visual audio files. And if you notice, behind under every of those NFTs, we have a list. So we mint 10 of each NFT. So we have 10, but all 10 of them are unique. So for example, one of them 10 NFTs have number 1, one is number 2, number 3, and so forth until number 10. So and so if you buy the NFT, your username, your crypto wallet username is gonna appear right on who owns that thing. So if you just rip off the MP4, right, and you have it in your folder, that doesn't have any value. What has value is that if you buy, your username shows that you're here. You're one of the guy that buys it, that has bought it. So if anybody just comes to this place, they see that this guy owns it, and so he actually owns the significant thing. And this is just a simple example. It doesn't even require people to log in with their crypto wallets, which I haven't implemented yet. But one of the like the leading places with blockchain virtual wallets is actually Somnium Space. So this is going to be a little bit more complex. They're building a virtual world that's kind of an open for people to generate their own content, just with a little twist that's kind of separates them from VR chat and the rest. Is that they're selling NFT land. So as I said before, you don't really own NFTs. NFTs are not only constrained to artworks, is what I meant, but it can be whatever. So for example, in Somnium Space, the NFTs are land pieces. So the developers kind of made the whole map, right? And they just put a lot of like green places, some cubes, some places like these places can be bought off by people who then can log in with their crypto wallets. And if they went to a marketplace, they bought a piece of land, right? They go into this virtual place and they log in with their crypto wallet. So when they log in, it's notified that, hey, this guy has this land as an NFT inside his wallet. So he has access to it. He's the owner of this land. In that case, you can go freely into your land. You can even build stuff. So this Omnium Space has a built-in world editor, like Imagine Sims, and you can just build whatever only in the land that you own. And everybody who roams around in this world just kind of looks around for stuff to do. They will see that you own this place. They're not able to edit it, but they can just kind of visit it. Maybe you can add some sort of a paywall. For example, you can host an event. You can build a space. So one more image. You can build some sort of an event hall. This is a Burning Man event that was hosted in Somnium Space instead of a physical one, and it was paid. And it was a paid event. So you would, of course, log in with your crypto wallet, right? And near the entrance, it would say, "Hey, pay this amount of money," and then you can access the hall and talk with other people, see all the artworks, and have a good time. And so, like, this kind of shows that you. Kind of shows the glimpses of going into an open world. Imagine, like, instead of an internet, you would go into the Somnium space, and you just like walk around, put portals, go to any place. Somebody may have built an art gallery, which also is one of the cases here. Somebody just kind of built a gallery inside the land that they own. They showcase their own artworks. They give some sort of a vibe, some sort of experience. They can invite people to expositions and just explain themselves what kind of artists they are, and so on. You can have whatever people can make. It's all possible. It's like a world that is all generated by people, just like internet. All the web pages are made by people. So internet is like an open place. This is the same open place, just in a VR, in an open world. Also, the last one of these worlds that I would like to touch, which I'm going to use extensively throughout the remaining of the talk, is Revamon. These are actually, this is like a Pokemon knockoff. You know, I'm sure most of you have to know Pokemon. It's a hugely widely popular brand. And so Revamon, actually, these guys who made Revamon are the creators of Pokemon VR, which was a hugely widely popular VR multiplayer game, but it was shut down due to copyright issues from Nintendo. So Revamon is blockchain-based Pokemon. I will not tell you all about these like staking, farming, play to earn. I'm sure there's going to be too much of a headache. But just imagine a world. Of course, I'm excited about Revamon, but it's still just like a knockoff Pokemon. So it doesn't kind of scream quality, right? Because whenever you say this is Pokemon, but you know it's a fake. But but still, it has a kind of a new twist of that you can actually own your Pokemon. So to kind of show you the whole thing, the whole story of what can this become. Imagine you get yourself a Pokemon inside this Revamon world. You get yourself a Pokemon. You go freely roam around the world. You find some other Pokemon you want to catch. Once you fight it out, you catch the Pokemon, and you have the Pokemon as an NFT. Of course, you log in with your own crypto wallet, right? Once you catch the Pokemon, you own it as an NFT. Then you can go to a marketplace and sell that Pokemon off. And you have earned money for playing Pokemon, catching them, and selling them. You can also maybe just level up your Pokemon. You can pet them, you can give them food, you can train them new moves, level it up. It has more value. You can sell it off for more. So those NFTs have value outside of the game. So it's like you own them as yourself. You own those NFTs as yourself and not your kind of a game character. So that's why they have value, because they exist out of the realm of the Pokemon. So the more popular Revamon are, the more valuable the NFTs from this world are, naturally. And so imagine you've got yourself a Pokemon, right? And you've got yourself a team. And you want to go and fight in some real tournament. Some people who are also interested, Pokemon trainers, could be interested in watching you and other professional Pokemon trainers fight it out. So they can go into a stadium. They can, of course, buy a ticket. If you pay more, you get seats closer to the main hall, to the center. If you pay less, you can get a little bit further away. And then you can just have yourself a seat, see people on the left and right from you, and you can just all cheer on those Pokemon trainers and see how they do. So it's like an esport kind of open world. And you, as a Pokemon trainer, can just be sponsored by some sort of brand, maybe gaming brand, maybe Razer, or like whatever you can imagine. You can have your avatar be a sponsored one, so you can actually make money playing a game. You can actually become a Pokemon trainer. But still, like in this case, it's still just like a virtual world, right? So it's like it's different MMOs, different worlds, but they are not kind of they're not like the same thing. It's not like the internet where you go into a different website and you can just instantly access every place. You need apps. You need to log in with your crypto wallet, and that's all. But still, this is like a nice prospect. The different worlds are now building their own kind of a metaverses. And so, but now I've just said like metaverse like 100 times now. So I think it's time that I kind of just go right into the juicy part. So the metaverse, I'm sure that you know kind of have this kind of a picture. It's a place where like I'm guilty of that too. But we use metaverse in like this tech world. We use metaverse a lot as a buzzword because people are kind of getting it, because you say metaverse and they think, whoa, it's future. But so I also say like this place is also welcome. Thanks for coming. So this metaverse, I also call this place a metaverse, right? But it's not really a metaverse. It's just like a virtual world. Metaverse is the combination of all virtual worlds. It stands for metaverse. Just like you cannot have yourself a web page and say, I have my own internet. You just have yourself a web page, and the combination of all the web pages inside the internet is called the internet. So the metaverse is like the internet, but for an open space. For the 3D worlds, like all the virtual worlds that I talked about, the Pokemon world, right? The Somnium space, even this place, it can be all part of one metaverse, which you can just kind of easily access from one app. So I just wanted to kind of think, just kind of tell you of like a kind of this vision of how metaverse is going to look like once it's all settled down, at least in my opinion. So imagine that I'm sure most of you know RuneScape. A game wildly popular back in the day. It's like a 3D in a web browser game. So you would go into your web browser, right? You enter your credentials, and bam, you enter your world. You can go cut wood, right? You can go fight. You can go do whatever, do quests. So imagine that instead of going to a web browser, you open up instead of Google Chrome. Let's say you open up some sort of an app. And how you open it up is with a crypto wallet. So I mentioned crypto wallet like 100 times too, and this is really important because instead of I'm sure you know this kind of a pain when you go to different websites, right? And you need to always log in, creating a new account with an email and a password, and it really gets really tedious. You get too many accounts to manage, right? And crypto wallet is going to completely change the thing, because if you own a crypto wallet, you can use the same crypto wallet in all the different places. For example, you can log into this place, for example, with some crypto wallet, right? Your username and password. You would go to different world, let's say Pokemon world, and you can use the same credentials, your username and password, to log into that place. And your inventory is you can also have items from this world. You can also have items from another world, and they all exist in your virtual identity. So you have only one crypto wallet, and it's your virtual identity. You don't need to create multiple accounts and have information stored on different websites. So imagine you open up this kind of a open world app, right? You put on your VR glasses and open a browser, and the browser you can just appear in some sort of a 3D environment, like some sort of default Google Chrome link, right? You just open it up and it just says you can search. So you can maybe appear in some default place from where you can visit different worlds, and with your crypto wallet. And so also when I say that you have your own one unique identity throughout the whole metaverse, that means you can also buy an avatar, which is like a 3D avatar. It can also be a 2D, but like I'm talking about VR, so it's a 3D avatar. So if you own your avatar as an NFT, you can just put on that skin. You can just put on that skin and have your character the same across the whole metaverse. So that means, for example, if you go to some sort of RuneScape VR with your crypto wallet, you would log in and be like this kind of a person, right? And this, for example, this avatar. I can be this avatar in RuneScape VR. I would go to another web browser, just kind of quickly jump into another Pokemon VR, let's say, and I'll still be the same character. So we will all have our own virtual identities. We can, of course, change our avatar to whatever else, but we have the option to always be the same username. So for me, I would always be Thomukas1, and I can have the same skin to whichever kind of virtual world I go. And also, one really important thing is that username is like email and password is like the old school way, right? And for the crypto wallet, you have username and password. And a username is your public key, and it also works as a bank address. So, for example, if I want to send somebody some money, right? I can just turn on my crypto wallets inside VR, right? I just enter their username and click send, and that's all. If I know their username, I can send them money, no questions asked. So it's like sending, opening up Swedbank or like whatever bank you have. You enter the account details. You have all this kind of anxious experience of sending money. In crypto, you can just enter the username and click send, and that's all. You can do it instantly. You can do it from far away. You can do it once you meet up with the person. So it's like an easy flow of money just because you know the username. Username is a bank address too. And so what you can do inside this metaverse. First of all, really simple thing what you can do is you can go shopping. There's lots of online shopping clothes brands, right? Like for example, let's say Nike, right? Nike has a shoe shop in online. So you would go to a virtual world that Nike designed themselves, some headquarters for a big, beautiful Nike shop that everybody can access in multiplayer. You can go with your friend into that virtual world and shop for some shoes, and you can just put on the shoes on your avatar, and you can see how well you look, right? And if you want, you can buy that those shoes. The people how do you say? You can buy them. You will get sent a physical copy of those shoes, right? You will get a pair of shoes physically. But what you actually are gonna buy is the NFT shoes, because they're not gonna tear down. They're not gonna wear down. They always maintain the same quality, and they always maintain their value. So you could. So if you own some pair of shoes on your crypto wallet, you own it as an item, and you can sell it, you can trade it to whoever person, and the physical copy of the boost you receive is just going to be like a cherry on top of some sort of a cake. So you can do that. Very, very simple. So let's say you can just make yourself an expensive outfit to go to some different world where they do parties and stuff, and show off how cool you are, how much expensive clothes you have on yourself. Also, what you can do is, going back to Zen Republic place, you can just quickly visit the Zen Republic world together with your friends and have some entertainment. You can maybe play some free games. Maybe you can just buy some game. Let's say we have a virtual escape room, Rodent People Origins. If you didn't know, you can check it out. So, for example, we can have in this place all the games that we have. So this is like a virtual game studio. So I don't know, imagine like Ubisoft or whatever kind of game studio. This is the world where all the games we have are here. So you can go in, check out all the games we have, and if you want, you can pay a little bit of cryptocurrency and get the copy of the game and be able to kind of quickly with your friend go in together without needing to download separate apps. So virtual game studios are also a part of the deal. You can actually make anything and just jump from world to world. And the most important thing to note about the metaverse is that you can actually make a living. You can work, and we can create as many different virtual jobs that didn't exist up until now. So even taking one simple Pokemon, the same Pokemon VR game, the blockchain game. So there's of course, first of all, they're trainers, right? You can be paid for learning, teaching your Pokemon, teaching the moves, becoming very, very good Pokemon trainer, and you may get sponsored for attending a tournament, right? You can earn money for winning prizes at the tournament, because the tournaments get revenue from people coming in to watch, right? Maybe the audience and themselves can win some prizes. Maybe they can vote on who wins or whatever. So you can be a trainer, but there's also many different jobs you can do apart from being a trainer. You can be a Pokemon breeder. So you can just have some Pokemon, some rare Pokemon, and you can just kind of breed them, create new Pokemons with some rare traits, maybe some rare moves that are not being learned through natural methods. So you can just kind of be a breeder. You can make some rare Pokemon and come to those trainers and say, hey, I'm going to sell you this Pokemon for that much. And they'll think maybe this is going to make my chances of winning tournaments better. So I can buy that. So it makes sense for me to buy that Pokemon. Also, you can be a trader. You can just collect Pokemon, flip them, and treat them as assets, right? You can just trade them, go for better deals, and collect rare Pokemons, wait until their value goes up and sell them then. You can also be gatherer. So, for example, there are some stones that make Pokemon evolve. So you can just kind of roam around the caves, look for stones, and sell them to people who are in need of evolving the Pokemon, so they can sell those Pokemon for more money. So it's all like a huge environment of people who can make money playing just a simple game, and you decide for yourself what you want to work as. And it's going to be especially important as we automate a lot of different workplaces. And it's going to be really important on that, because it's just one example of the game. You have many different worlds where people can make their own money doing different things. There can be some medieval game where there's some guy who's crafting swords and selling them to some fighters. And actually, just one little example is that Axie Infinity. There's NFT blockchain game. It's not a VR game, but it's called Axie Infinity, and it's really popular. When people are playing it and actually making a living playing the game. So basically, it's like a Pokemon game too. You need three Axies, three little monsters to play, and it's an investment of roughly now $500 to buy those three, because you need three to start playing. But once you do buy those three Axies, so it's like an investment, and you're hoping to get return on that investment, right? After some time passes. So you can just buy those three Axies and grind daily for for small love potions. They have a currency in that Axie world. It's called small love potions, or SLP for short. So you can just play quests with those 3 Axies, and just every day you can grind some potions, those small love potions, and then you can sell them off to people who are doing breeding. So in the Axie world, Axie Infinity world is the same thing. You can have Axies that have good traits, and you can breed them together. A new Axie is born, and you can sell that Axie for whatever amount of money. And people are buying those small of potions from the grinders. They're buying, and they're like risking. They're just kind of making the Axies breed and hope that their investment is gonna turn profit. And so with small of potions, people are saying now that once you kind of do the initial investment, you're gonna turn to profit after 1 month. You're gonna need to work for a month to kind of get your investment back, and from then you only see profit because you're just grinding to get other people to make more money. Or if you have better Axies yourself, you can, of course, in the Axie world, whether they're useful, you can go play PvP 1 against 1 and just kind of fight it out. Maybe have stake some money, stake some small of potions for who's the winner. And so like these are the different environments where people actually make money playing games. One more thing I'd like to say is that of Webiverse, there's this project Webiverse, which is actually planning on doing this kind of an open, completely open world internet. So imagine like going, instead of logging into Google Chrome, you would log into Webiverse, enter your credentials once, right? You enter your crypto wallet username and password, and then you're free to go into any virtual world, maybe drop a portal, or maybe just have some UI. You click on something and you just travel across the world just like you would do across the internet. You can attend events, you can play games, or whatever else you want. And one more thing that they're doing, they're trying to do a standardized asset system, which means that if you're in some sort of a game, right, and you get some sort of item, let's say you get a gun, or no, let's say you get this laser, right? You get this laser from Zen Republic HQ, and you own it as your inventory item, right? And so in the Webiverse world, this laser is also an NFT, right, which is tradable too. So what you can do is, I own this laser, but I own it not on the game level, right? I own it on my crypto wallet level, on my crypto inventory. So it's accessible on many different worlds. And what I can do is I can go to different world, different game, completely different game, and still have this item and be able to use it, even though it's not made in this world. So the assets are attached to your crypto identity and not to the games themselves. So it's like a really ambitious project. It's also web-based. That means that you can open up your web browser, Google Chrome too, Mozilla Firefox, whatever. You can put on your VR headset and you're inside Webiverse, and you can do whatever there. And that basically concludes my talk. I don't know how much I spent time talking. It was like 40 minutes, so just exactly on what I was planning. If you have any questions, I would gladly take them. I'm sure this is just a big mouthful to swallow, and a lot of information to take in. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, do we have any questions on Twitch?
Questions on Twitch, but if you think
I'm not sure if the Webiverse project is going to work. I can't say for sure, but what I know for a fact that this Webiverse kind of starts the whole revolution. When people find out the metaverse works as a concept, some huge companies, maybe even Google, will say, okay, we're making our own cryptocurrency, we're making Google VR, and we're creating the same thing. So these guys are just like really ambitious. They understand the vision of the open world internet, the next version of the internet. And I'm not sure if they're going to be the ones who take over, but they're the ones who are doing it now, and they're getting some attention. And I don't have any other example to give. So I sure hope it works out for them, but you never know.
Oh, no questions on the Twitch? And that's...
Well, I have one more question from the audience.
Yeah, just interesting to know how on the gameplay side is possible to use the same objects in the different games. When it's not possible to build gameplay when you don't know which items you have and so on. Exactly. It's if you didn't hear the question was, how do you be able to use that item you got from one world, you move it to the other world? How are you going to use it? It doesn't have the logic to it, right? So
I'm not sure. I'm puzzled too. I'm asking these guys questions on how it's possible. They say we're just doing it, trust it's gonna work. But from what I understand, what is gonna be is that those items will not have any interactions on them. Those standardized objects will just be like they're able to be grabbed and moved around. It's like a default asset system. It's not going to be like specified, at least not for now. They're specified with their different actions. They're just going to be like an item you can own. You can maybe place it, and somebody can take it and move it. So it's just going to be like a visible, movable item. So it's not going to have any special features like a gun. I don't think you would be able to kind of use it as a gun to shoot, but I think that may be like added as a default feature. Like we are now adding, instead of being able to just take an item, we're now being able to take it and have some additional trigger, right, to do an action. So it may evolve to that. But for now, it's just going to be a default asset system, which is you own the NFT, so you can just take it, show it off, place it, and have it across the different worlds. And if you're in the Webverse, if you want to kind of attach yourself to this Webverse, you would install the plugin to use that standardized asset system, and all of those worlds will be able to use those assets. So it's just going to be a matter of kind of getting enough people to want to join this Webverse project in the web browser to use their plugins for their own worlds. So I hope that answers your question. So I guess if that's all, I really want to thank you for coming here to listen. And I hope to see you next week. It's been really fun. I really enjoyed making this making this talk. And also one more thing before I forget. Of course, like any other week, you can receive your NFT participation badge. This week's code is Metaverse, and how you receive that code is you go to our Discord server. You can find it on our website, zenrepublic.space. You can join our Discord server and DM POAP with the secret code. As I mentioned before, the secret code is Metaverse. So if you DM POAP with Metaverse, he's going to send you a link. You'll click on that link, and you'll be able to redeem your participation badge. One thing to note is that you will need to have a crypto wallet like MetaMask, so that when you get an NFT, you have somewhere to store it. So MetaMask works fine. So I hope you guys take the participation badges. It's been very, very fun, and thank you very much. Have a good day. Until next week.